Shit. I I love it when Streamlabs updates. So much fun. But hopefully this should be fun. I haven't gotten to play a tabletop game in literally months. Um so I figured today would be a good time to try to fix that. So uh the end of last year, a new version of Star Quest came out, which is a game I have played several times on the channel. We did a pretty long campaign of it last year, I think. I know we did Frostgrave for sure last year, but I'm pretty sure we did StarQuest too. Um, and a new version came out. The tweaks are very minor, but they're kind of cool. So I wanted to kind of get a new campaign started up and check out the 2.0 rules of it, as it were. And yeah, I thought that would be pretty fun for today for us to do. So, with that, nope, that one. Um, so this is the basic website. I wish they had axolotl models. Oh my god, please add those. Also, one page rules. I still want the furry snake, um, the golden retriever thing from your fucking art book. Oh, that thing needs a model like yesterday. It's amazing. So, StarQuest is the solo and co-op version of Grimdark Fantasy, or no, Grimdark Firefight, um, which is their version of Kill Team. Yeah, to be completely honest, it's a simplified and just flat out better version of Kill Team 2018, which was like my first war game, really, and probably like, one of my favorites. So, this just being a cleaned up, better version and being free is amazing. So you can just go there, download the rules right on the page. They're all right here. So you can see the 2.0 rules. They came out the end of last year. So pretty darn cool. So just gonna kind of look through the rules real quick. I want kind of want to talk about them a little bit, and then we'll get playing so we can kind of see them in action. So the rules are pretty much the same, very similar to Grimdark Future Firefight, if you've ever played that. Um, the only difference here is that you kind of have character models, and those character models are sort of like your team, right? Like you don't have like a whole army kind of thing, right? Or like a squad. You have like a couple of heroes going on an adventure sort of deal. And those characters, they get kind of elevated stats, and they also get the ability to do like special skills and actions and stuff, because they're going to have a currency that they're going to spend, called power, that's going to let them do additional stuff in the game and kind of like go outside the normal game rules, um, which is pretty fun. And then our enemies are all going to be AI controlled, which is pretty cool. So you can see the rules for this are 2 pages long, and that's it, which is pretty awesome. Um, right? So this is all the basic stuff. This is literally the entire rules of the game right here, and then this is all the appendix kind of stuff. So pretty cool. And this is the campaign builder for StarQuest. This is telling you essentially how to like set up a game, how to do rewards, how to level up your characters, stuff like that. There's a couple pages of these because it's a little bit longer because it's a campaign, and they kind of broke stuff out, so it made sense per page. Uh, the campaigns in this are pretty awesome. They are essentially like mission based. So what you do is you define how long your mission's going to be, and then how many missions are going to be in your campaign, and then you kind of complete through that, right? And once you know that, you can kind of come up with like a little headcanon story for it, and like swap the enemies in and out and stuff like that, right? So today we're just kind of be playing a one-off, and we are going to be playing Retrieval right here. We're going to be playing that one. Why are we playing that one? Well, I've got my kind of like decimated, like Las Vegas sci-fi like pleasure zone here, right? And I kind of want to have a team go in and save this like gangster looking dude. Right? He seems like somebody that would kind of be left behind in a place like this, right? Um, so this guy's from Mantic. I got him in one of those Mantic like rando boxes, which were really fun. I really enjoyed those. So he came from there, and he just, I don't know, he just screams like greaseball. So I thought he'd be kind of fun. So I figured I would get some heroes together and go and save him. So first off, we need to pick a corner to put him in, and then I'm going to put my heroes basically in the opposite corner, and then we'll figure out where the enemies go. So I kind of want to start him off like in a building. So over here, we kind of have this building here. So I'm going to put him over here, and we're not really going to have him move around until he gets rescued. But I am going to give him two like generic wound kind of grunts. So we've got purple guy, hello, and we've got snake guy, and they're going to be defending sleazeball guy while our heroes try to make it to him. Now for our heroes, we have the ever popular Squid Face right there. And we'll look at their stats in a second. And then I've got Badger Guy. And then Badger Guy has like a pet essentially, because he's essentially the grimdark future version of a like ranger, right? He's called a pathfinder. So he gets a pet. So that's going to be the blue otter. Because actually you don't have a pet that really matches these guys. So we picked the little bottle for that one. All right. So let's go look at some of the rules then again. All right, then we're back. Okay. Um, so over on Army Forge, you can actually set up everything and have Army Forge run it. And we're going to do that partly today. The only difference is that I'm going to manually spawn the enemies versus letting Army Forge do it. Because our heroes are so low level that right now it's not really going to want to spawn anything above like some generic grunts. So I'm going to put some bigger stuff in there just so it can murder people and be fun. As this is one off, I'm not expecting these guys to have to get through multiple missions and stuff. It's okay if they get the shit beat out of them. So, all right. So I'm gonna pick Badger Dude. Wait, sorry, wrong one. I had to click Start New Mission first. There we go. Start new mission. Start a solo mission. We'll stick at difficulty 1. That's fine. All right. Now I want Badger Dude and Squid Face. Okay. Now these are army books that you're going to be using for the AI for the enemy. Now, some of these I actually made. So like this one, this weird World War II Germans. This is like a whole like German set that I made, which is pretty fun. But for this one, I tried to make one last night for my automaton enemies that I'll show off that I've been painting over the last couple of weeks. I tried to make one for one of those, but the server or like the service that OnePageRules uses for their middleware to create new books was actually down, so I couldn't make my own book. So we're actually just going to use an existing book, which I set up last night, and there we go. Now, when you make one of these books, basically what you do is you make an army list, and then you just tell it what army list to use. Um, and then it will populate for you the enemies every round. Now, it really only likes to do enemies kind of like up to your guy's level on difficulty 1, and then it will start ranking up from there. So, like on the higher difficulties, it's going to give you multiple enemies per round. But instead of that, we're just going to manually kind of spawn them instead. So, all right, this is our interface here. We can see we've got Badger Dude, level 1. He's our Pathfinder. He's a 4/5, which means he's actually pretty darn good at shooting. Um, He's got 3 power, so not a ton. Um, and his other stats are all kind of like, generic starter stats. Squid Face here is going to get a spell. So these are kind of the army spells for them. And then he's going to be a 5/5 character with a pistol. Badger Dude's got a shotgun. Now it does list the spells down here for us. Like, really, this interface is phenomenal. You cannot find a better one in wargaming, in my opinion. Um, every time I use this thing, I give props to whoever wrote this. You did a phenomenal job. Uh, so you can see that this says Security Forces Army spells. That's because I chose to make my mercenary guys for this mission out of one of the gangs of New Eden. So they're the security force gang from that. I just kind of wanted a sort of like generic guys in armor gang, right? But it just wasn't like Space Marines, you know? I wanted kind of people. So chose for gangs of New Eden for them. Okay. So, first off, we need to go on back here. There we go. All right, so we've got our greasy scumball guy. He's camping out in this corner, which means that when we spin the board around, I want to put our heroes in this opposite corner. So they're going to start over here in this kind of corner over here. That's my Pathfinder's pet. And their mission's going to be to get to the greasy scumball guy and then get him back off of this corner. Now, opposing that, we have some of the automatons that we've been painting, because I got them finished up. I actually completed some hobby. Holy shit, for the first time in like ever. So, we've got some of the automatons that we've been working on. So, starting off the mission, what we need to do is we need to choose a side for them to spawn on. So they can spawn kind of in either corner, that's opposite of where we are, or they could spawn in the middle. So let's get some dice out and get a roll in. Okay, let's see. We're gonna need some of those for wounds. And then we'll use these purple tiered dice for our baddies, and we'll use these cool rainbow dice for our good guys. Ah. This dice cube I have is way too filled with dice. I need to empty some of it out. Okay. Alright, so we got 3 spots for these guys that they could potentially spawn in, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to do a roll off for it. So they can either spawn in this corner, which is going to be a 1 or a 2, or they could spawn in this corner, which is going to be a 3 or a 4, and then the middle is going to be a 5 or a 6. So, let's figure out what we got. So the first thing we're going to spawn one of those big smashy guys. Then we're going to spawn a unit of shooters, and then I'm going to actually spawn an artillery piece as well, because I think this will kind of be kind of fun. So, let's see. For the big smashy guy, where's he going to go? He's going to be a 3, which means that he's going to spawn in this corner here. So, big smashy guy making himself a home. Right there. Alright, let's do 1 unit of shooters. They're going to spawn at once. They're going to spawn on the other side. So they can make their way downtown from over there. Alright, let's do another unit of shooters. They're going to spawn with this guy. Alright, so he's going to have some friends. And of course we have to do Mr. Clamps, because Mr. Clamps is awesome. We love Mr. Clamps. He is so much fun. So, and then last but not least, where's our artillery guy spawning? He's also going to spawn on this side. Okay. And you know what? We'll actually spawn him up here on the roof. Yeah. All right. And there we go. We are ready to rock. So, in Grimdark Future Firefight, or rather, let me rephrase that. In StarQuest, the player always goes first with their activations, and then we do all of the enemy activations after that, right? So, And we're going to activate the enemies based on who's closest to the player models, right? Like the most relevant enemy is going to go first. So let's see what we got. All right, we're going to go back to our boys over here. And we're going to grab a ruler, because I've got to grab one of those. Necromunda ruler coming in hot. All right. These rollers are literally the best thing in gaming, by the way. These like clear Necromunda plastic rollers. I like hoard them. They're so goddamn good. Um, all right, so we're gonna go and I'm gonna pull up the rules for our guys. Let's see. Do they have anything special that says they are beyond regular movement? If not, they're going to move 6. Okay, so that's what they're gonna do. All right. So every turn, your characters are going to get to do one action, and then they get to do a skill action. So this is a list of actions right here. Zoom in on that a little bit. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose to rush. And that's going to basically let me move twice. So instead of moving 6 inches, it's going to let me move 12, but I can't shoot afterwards. Now, skill actions are over here. Um, and then there's also a set of like common actions that you can do as well. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to uh, go ahead and rush for our guy. Bonk, bonk, bonk. So, all right, Mr. Badger, he is going to, uh, hmm, yeah, he's not going to be able to see anything. Yeah, you know what? He's going to do one of these jobbers, and he's going to get over by that machine right there. Yep, there he is right there. And he's going to bring his pet with him. Because a pet is really not a model. It basically means that the Pathfinder gets a free like pet attack. Um, I just wanted in there to be another model on the table because I wanted to use that model. So that's what that represents. All right, and this guy here, he's also not really going to be able to see anything, right? So we're just going to kind of have him kind of scooch on up as well, I think. I don't really want to put all my guys right between all the enemies, though. I think that's going to be a bad time. So what we're going to do is we're going to have him kind of snake around in here, and we're going to have him set up shop in this like busted up building right here. So next turn he can get a shot through that window. That's what we're going to do. So that way when the enemies move up next turn, he'll be able to take a shot through that window. That is the goal. Okay. So that means that it is now the enemy turn. Now, if they can't directly see anybody, what the enemy is going to do is they're going to try to move towards the AI goal, which for most of these guys is going to be that big Chungus, like um, the big Chungus, like scummy guy, right? He's going to be the AI goal. They're here to eat him. So the AI track for this basically goes, can you see anybody? Yes or no? If no, move towards the AI goal. If yes, go and murder whatever you can see, essentially, and murder it in the best way possible. Um, so you don't end up having things like shooter units rushing into melee, right? They will try to stay back and shoot, right? Like a little bit of logic there. So, but they can't really see anybody, right? So these guys, they're going to go ahead and they're just going to rush. And they're going to rush towards Mr. Chungus over here. And then These guys, our artillery piece actually can see people, but we'll get to him next. These guys can't really see anybody, so they're going to kind of do the same thing, but they have a little bit of tough terrain in their way that they're going to have to get around. So they're going to lose themselves a couple of inches from that. So they're only going to get to about here from rushing. All right, now Mr. Artillery Piece, boop. So he has the indirect role, which means that he can fire at stuff that he can't see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. We're going to go over to the Army Forge, and we're going to spawn ourselves a manual wave. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, um, let's see, where's the one with the big stick? Oh, I swear I gave one like a big, like, smash 'em stick that isn't this pick. Oh well, guess I did it. Okay, that's fine. We're going to do that. We're going to summon that, and we'll just use someone with the drum rifle. And we're going to spawn that wave. Um, and now I'm going to do this basically so I have these stats, right? So I can quickly look at them, more so than having the game keep track of my enemies for me. Although it will do that, it will kind of like actually guide you in what should be like a regular kind of mission. But I kind of want to do that myself this time, so. All right, so we got our enemies there. Now, this here is the support unit. I basically did this so I would have things for the indirect roll and for this mortar, right? So this is attack 3, blast 3. So ignores cover, and the hit is multiplied by X in the target unit. So that's pretty fun. And it has indirect. So it gets -1 to hit when shooting after moving. May target enemies that are not in line of sight. As if in line of sight, it ignores cover from sight obstruction. So essentially, it's just going to like kaboom, right? It's going to choose to be able to like just shoot and explode something. So we're looking at attacks 3, then right on top of our guys at a quality 5. Okay, so Mr. Mortar, who is right there, is going to shoot our guys in the middle. Right, so we're looking at attack 3, quality 5. So we roll ourselves 3 dices, 3d6s, and we see what we get. Not a single 5, so he just kind of decided to blow up some other portion of this poor destroyed town. So just adding to the rubble. All right. Now that is the end of turn 1. That's everybody just getting an activation, right? Nice and quick, nothing crazy, super easy. Now at the end of every activation, we are going to add up to a constant ticking score. Now this score is called alertness. That's what it's called. And it's basically just going to go up by 1 every time. And there are special things that make it go up higher and faster than that, but they simplified this system, which was really nice. I like the simplified version a lot better. It's just going to go up by 1. When it hits 6 is when we spawn more shit. So we're going to hope that that doesn't keep ticking up. All right. Over to turn 2. So Mr. Badger Guy is going to move up there. We'll get some zoom in action on Mr. Badger there. There he goes. So he's going to move up 6, and we're going to attack that unit that's closing in on our target. So he's going to move up to this little thing here so he still has cover, and he's going to bring his pet with him. And he's going to shoot at these guys right here. Maybe the other camera would be better to see it. Let's see. You can see them hiding really well. We can't really see the guy they're shooting at. So I had my head camera running, and then but it was not behaving very nicely. So he's going to shoot at those guys. There he is in the corner there. That's perfect. All right, so he's going to shoot at those guys right there. Um, so we're going to look at what his shooting stats are. So he was a quality 4, and he's got a shotgun. So shotgun doesn't really have any crazy special rules. It's just 12 inches, attacks 3, going into those guys. So we've got 3 dice, just like with that mortar, where we're clearly within 12 inches, and we're looking for 4s. All right, so we get 3 hits. Okay, so each one of those hits is going to be 1 hit, and then these guys get to roll to try to save against those hits. So they have a quality of 5, so they need to save 5 or they're going to get shot. All right, so we got a 1, we got a 2, and we missed 1. Okay, somehow we got 2 5s out of 3 dice, which is pretty crazy. But that means that one of them gets hit. These guys only have 1 wound. So he is toast. I was kind of hoping we would get some more kills from that, but you know, you take what you can get. You take what you can get. Now this guy has a hero skill of hunting beast, which is what his little pet there is. And so we are going to do a strength test with him, which is a 5+. And then we're going to attack this same unit. So we need a strength of 5. We got a 6. Okay, cool. So we don't need to do anything special with that. So it just goes off. So our little buddy hits this unit. We'll say he just runs up and shoots them at close range like that. So 2 hits. Let's see if they can save against that. They have saves a 5. Save 1, lose 1. So they end up losing a second guy. That was a lot of work to kill 2 guys in a 3-man unit. Okay, so we are now over to our other hero, who is right here and mispredicted where the enemy is going to go, right? It sucks for him, but it is what it is. So instead, we're going to have him kind of try to hop up and take out that mortar guy. Is what we're going to try to do instead. So he's going to go ahead and he's going to move 6. And he's going to get himself pretty much up here on top. And he's going to take himself a pot shot at... Ooh. Okay. He's going to take a pot shot at that mortar guy with his pistol. Right? He's got a heavy pistol. He's going to try to put a shot into him. So that heavy pistol is 1 shot, 12 inches, AP 1. So AP reduces the enemy's save, but let's see if he makes it. This is on a 5. We rolled and he got a 1. I guess he was tired after climbing, which is fair. I think that's fair. All right, but that means it's the enemy's turn now, which means he's going to get mortared to hell. However, he's not the closest one, so we'll start with... Oh, shit, I hit that building. We'll start with some of the other ones first. So we'll come over here to Mr. Badger again. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to say the Chungus's bodyguards have sort of woken up, so they'll go at the very end. They'll be sort of like the last guys. But this guy here, going to go ahead around, take a pot shot at Mr. Badger, who's hiding behind that vending machine right there. And we're going to see what we got. So that is attack 1 rifle, 24 inches, quality 5. Okay. So we're going to roll a dice, see if we hit Mr. Badger. Looking for 5s. We get a 5. Okay. Does Mr. Badger save it? He does not. Actually, hold on. Let me check his rules, because he has some kind of armored vest rule. I'm trying to remember what it does. Ballistic vest. Okay, it's only for things that are 9 inches away and it reduces AP. Okay. RIP. So he's going to go ahead and he's just going to take a wound. Now, the nice thing about this is it will track your wounds for you, which is super cool. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to say 1 wound to Mr. Badger. Once we get down to below his toughness, which is 9, Mr. Badger will be incapacitated. So we're going to hope that doesn't happen. All right. So going to go over to these guys next. And they're going to just kind of continue to advance in. So we're going to get our first bit of melee combat here. Whoop, there we go. Really? What's with this on and off nonsense? Stop that. So this big ol' smashy brute bastard, he's going to go ahead and he's going to charge right into Mr. Snake. Actually, could he reach the other guy? He could reach the other guy. You know what? Yeah, we're going to have him charge the other guy. Hell yeah. There he is right there. Just looming way too terrifyingly over the other guy. Right there. All right. So that's what he's going to do. So he's going to charge in, and he's a big old smashy bastard. Now, he has 6 attacks, AP1 with rending. So if he gets a 6 to hit, it gets 4 AP, which is really nasty. So we're looking at 6 attacks. I actually need to get more bad guy dice. Give me a second. I gotta pull those out. Alright, 6 attacks. We'll see if he just fucking implodes this guy. I'm assuming he's going to. Because he is also quality 3+. He is a monster. Okay, so he misses 2. We get 4 hits. 3 of which have AP4. So we'll go ahead and we'll kind of roll these defenses one at a time. So the first defense dice. That's a 2. So that's going to go through. Because even this guy, I'm saying, has a defense of 5. So, yeah. That one's going to go through. And then we'll roll the other 3 that have the higher AP. So that's a 1, which is a guaranteed instant fail, and then 2 2s. Now, in my brain, I was thinking these guys have 3 wounds. So that means this guy is like putty. He's like not only dead, he's like literally smashed into the floor dead. So, RIP, purple guy. You didn't even get to take a shot. I'm sorry, bro. All right, now we've got our other guys over here. They're going to move up and they're going to do some shooting. So they're going to move up over here by this like furry stripper thing, and they're going to take some shots. So they're all attack 1 with their guns, if I remember right. Let me go look. Yeah, they're all 1 attack, and then there's a drum rifle with attack 2. So attack 1, AP 1 is what they are. So 2 attack 1s, AP 1s. Let's roll those. They're hitting on 5s. Whoop, that's a 6. That's a 4. And then we've got 2 for the drum, which both miss. All right, so 1 attack going through and Mr. Snake. Mr. Snake does not save it, so he's going to take a wound. So these guys got 3 toughness, so I don't have a way to track them, so we're going to be using dice. So there we go. All right. Now, the only enemy left is this mortar guy up here, who is... Whoa. One second. Sorry about that. So this mortar guy up here, he is going to take a shot at the dude that just tried to shoot him, which is our friend Squidface here. Squidface is in a position where he's not very useful. I really should have thought this through a little bit better. But yeah, so we're looking at 3 attacks, hit on 5s at Squid Face. 1 hit. Does Squid Face dodge it on a 5? He does. Okay. So Mr. Squid Face dodges the mortar shot, which is pretty dope. All right. Cool. So that's the end of all those guys. Let's do our AI guys. I didn't do them the first turn because they weren't really around anybody. So, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do Mr. Snake. You know, I'm just gonna leave this camera here because there's gonna be a lot going on in this corner. So we got Mr. Snake. Mr. Snake can either shoot at the really giant smashy brute near him or the 3 guys that just tried to shoot at him. I think it would make most sense for him to try to shoot the giant smashy brute right next to him. So we're going to say 2 attacks from Mr. Snake, hitting on 5s into the smash brute. We got a 4 and a 6. Okay. Now Mr. Smash Brute has a defense of 4 plus. All right. So we'll say these basic rifles of AP1s, we'll say his rifle does too. So Mr. Smash Brute needs to save on a 5. He does. Though I imagine he is not very happy at Mr. Snake now. I imagine Mr. Snake is going to have a very bad turn next turn. But you tried, Mr. Snake. Job done. He can try to finish off the unit that he wounded last time, but it's only 1 guy, and that's not mega useful. Now, he could potentially save Mr. Snake here, because this is probably going to be very hard for you to see, but there's a window right here. So we could have him walk up to this window and try to kill the big brute thing. Which would not be a bad idea because that big brute thing is going to be really, really nasty. Or I could have him walk down the aisle and try to take out the other 3 shooters. Now, I think potentially killing the big brute thing and saving Mr. Snake is probably the best call. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him move up to this window. Bonk. And there he is right outside that window. We're going to have him move up to that window, and we're going to have him put his 3 shots into the big brute thing. So we're looking at 3 shots hitting on 4s. I got 1 hit. That's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. Yeah, but it is what it is. All right. Big brute thing. Save it on 4. Saves it. Or is he saving on 5s? Hold on. Save it on 4s. Okay, big brute thing saves it. God damn. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 2 hits going into this guy. Just so we can clean that up, right? All right. Now, one of the things that you can do as a hero is you can... I'm trying to find it so I can show you. You can choose... So I think we're actually going to do that. So we're going to use 2 of his PowerPoints, and I think I can denote this. Yeah, I can denote this in the Army Forge, so we'll go ahead and do that. We'll use 2 of his PowerPoints to shoot an additional time. 3 more shots going into the big brute, because I think if we can save Mr. Snake, that will be in our best interest. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to use his special ability here. Hit, when shooting, it deals 1 extra hit. With Pathfinder's Precision, You can't see this, but I rolled 2 2s and a 3. Awesome. Awesome. Good. Okay. Well, that was a big play that amounted to nothing. So, moving on, we're going to go over here to Mr. Squidface again. He's going to get to take his turn. Um, Now, he can continue to try to have his little shoot off with this grunt that's up on the roof here. I don't think that is the most useful use of him. So, I would like to get him actually into the fight because he has like cool abilities and stuff. Uh, he is now at 3 spell tokens, so he can cast a spell that has a power of 3. So you know what? Fuck it, we're gonna do that. We're gonna try to taser shock this uh this mortar guy. That's what we're gonna try to do. There we go. So we got Mr. Squidface and we got Mr. Mortar. And when it goes off, which it will, they take 2 hits at AP2 each. So let me double check that that's how spellcasting works here. I almost never have spellcasters. Where's the spellcasting roll? Oh, it's on the spellcaster. God, that makes so much sense. It's painful. Let's see. They gain X spell tokens at the start of each round, but can't hold more than 6 at once, 1 or more spells. Roll 1 die on a 4+, resolve the effect on a target in line of sight. Heroes may spend any number of spell tokens before rolling the +1 to the roll per token, or to give an enemy caster within 18 inches -1 to per their roll. Whenever a hero fails to cast a spell, it may suffer X times stress, which is stress is the old verbiage. This is power. So if we go and we look at this, yeah, heroes may spend as successes. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're going to. Oh, sorry, I had the wrong thing on. So this is the power reference there. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do that taser shot. So we're gonna do roll and we're gonna hope for a 4, and if not, we got a 6, so we're good. So that's gonna be 2 shots into Mr. Mortar at AP2. He's gonna try to save them. He got a 1 and a 4, so he does not. So Mr. Mortar. So we're looking at 6 inches. Fog cloud. That sucks. We're not gonna do that. All right. Basically gives you a portable cover marker. You don't really care about that. Okay. Moving back. Because now it is the enemy's turn. And now the beatings continue. So, big old Mr. Smashy Smash here. Looking at 6 attacks with rending. Survey says, wow, okay. Only 2 hits at 4s. Or is this guy a quality 3? I don't remember. Let me look. Okay, it's quality 3. So we're looking at 3 hits. Okay, that's not bad. Those all have AP1. So it means Mr. Snake here, he needs 6s. No, he needs 4s for all of these. No, he needs 6s for all of these. He saved 1 and took 2. Ripperoni, Mr. Snake. You lost exactly the number of wounds you needed to lose. But at least you didn't get turned into like pizza like the other guy did on one swing. You at least got to shoot your gun, buddy. So there's that. Now, these guys are going to also move up towards the target. We legitimately might not be able to save this guy. Now, thankfully, only one of those is probably going to be able to really fit in there. Actually, they were more than in range to go around him. You hitting him 5s. 2 hits. And this guy had 3 wounds as well. Back. Thankfully, he's blocked from the big brute, but still, yeah, bad time, man. Bad time on turn 3, right there. In this like convenience store that they're all trapped in. All right. We will up the alertness, and then we will keep going. Now, honestly, because that guy is so close to the freaking window, I'm going to have Mr. Badger just pull him through the goddamn window. So, we're going to do a skill action. Mr. Badger needs to pass a strength test. He has a strength of 5. He gets a 4. Can he use... What is the thing? Oh shit, he doesn't have enough strength to pass the test. Well, that's a whole bunch of poopy. Damn. Man, Mr. Badger, you were set up for greatness, buddy. All right. Well, Mr. Badger doesn't have the strength to pull him through the window. So that's unfortunate, and I don't have enough power for Mr. Badger to reset and just auto pass it, because I didn't think I would be doing that. I was expecting Mr. Badger to gun all these motherfuckers down. That didn't happen. That's fine. Well, I guess Mr. Badger might as well try to gun them all down. I might as well, right? So, shit. Do I have anything? Do I have anything extra I can try? No, I really don't. So we're just 3 shots. Mr. Badger could, after shooting, could move into melee. Or could move to put himself between the Chungus, which would make the mobs attack him instead. That sounds like a very heroic thing to do, and that's what he's going to have to do. So, we're going to put the shots into the 3 little guys in front. So, 3 shots hitting on 4s. 2 6s, 1 2. Alright, do they save them on 5s? 4 and 3. So that's 2 down. Blech, blech. And Mr. Badger will make the very poor decision to get closer. Because he already tried to move this guy, he unfortunately can't have his pet attack. So that is unfortunate, but it is what it is. All right. Next up, we've got Mr. Tentacle Face, who is making his way downtown. There he is right there. He is going to have to... He's not going to be able to see shit if he only moves 6. So he is unfortunately going to have to rush as well. So he's going to rush up to the window. And you know what? He's going to pick the target up. So we're looking at a strength test here, passing on, I think, 6s. Yep, passing on 6s. Looking at a strength test. He gets a 5. Okay. Now I can spend power times, or I can spend 2 power to auto pass this, which is what I'm going to do. So we're going to pick this guy up so I can get him moving on his way out, because we are not doing super well against the big old smashy monster of doom. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick up Mr. Chungus. And he's going to join our buddy on the outside there. That's what he's going to do. Whoosh, right there. So all right, now it's enemy turn. Closest guy up is this guy, unfortunately, which means that he's going to get to attack first. So we're looking at 1 attack, hitting on 5s. He gets a 1. Mr. Badger hits back, hitting on 4s. He hits back. All right. Guy does not save it, so that guy is gone. Go, Mr. Badger. You're killing things at least. However, you might be putty here in a second, so let's see. Squonk. 6 attacks with rending, AP 1. Goodbye, Mr. Badger. I liked you. Hitting on 3s, so we have 4 hits, 2 with AP 4. Fuck. Okay. So Mr. Badger here needs 2 6s to. We need 6s to block all of them. It's the only way he can pass these. They're too strong. He passes none of them. God damn, Mr. Badger. All right. Well, good news. Mr. Badger is not dead yet. So we can come back here to our sheet and we can add 4 to this. And we can see Mr. Badger now has 4 life. And he gets pushed backwards a little bit. He has 4 life. 1 power left, which is not a lot. And yeah. He's going to probably be the sacrifice, unfortunately. So because he has that 1 power, we can go and look and see what we have. All right, hero skill actions. They can use a power to pass. That's cool. He is going to have to start taking morale tests, unfortunately, so that's a thing. We'll talk about how to do that in a minute. So at the end of this round, he's going to take a morale test. Okay, so that's what we got. All right. Well, this is unfortunately the end of the round. So we're going to come back here. And we're going to add to our alertness. And then Mr. Badger needs to take a morale test. So because this guy's a hero, he's not really going to run away, but he might get shaken. So when a unit falls under half its toughness, it has to take a morale test. It takes a quality test, and if it fails, it is shaken. So he's got quality 4, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to roll for that. We're going to roll for that. And it's a 6. Okay. So he passes his morale test, so he doesn't need to worry about it. And then we are over into turn 5. So I guess it's time to start making a a tactical redirection, I guess. So Mr. Badger's going to go through that window there, and he's going to back himself up. But we're going to keep him between Mr. Smash'em and the other guy as after Mr. Smash'em moves. So Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So, and then Mr. Badger's going to fire 3 shots. Because there's a wall there now. Actually, can we shoot and then move? I don't remember. Let me see. Could we have shot when we were really close? Take 1 action plus 1 skill action in any order and may spend. Okay, can shoot after move. All right, so they have to move first. Okay. All right, that's fine. That's fine. So I'll have him move. The Mr. Smash'em though is going to get cover, unfortunately, from that. So his defense is going to be even better. So we're looking at 3 shots. 2 hits there. Mr. Smash'em saves 1, takes 1. Nice. All right, so we'll just repurpose that dice right there for Mr. Smash'em. Okay. Oh wait, no, this was already Mr. Smash'em's dice, wasn't it? Yes. So that means Mr. Smash'em is on 1 wound now. Or no, was this the dice? This was the dice for the snake. That's what that was. So that means Mr. Smash'em is now on 2 wounds. Okay, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to use a skill power. And we're going to attack that big guy with our pet. Kind of looks like he's shoving his gun up that guy's butt, but we'll see what we get. And we fail that, so we'll spend Mr. Badger's last power to pass that. Mr. Badger is now powerless. R.I.P. Mr. Badger. All right, so that's 2 hits, just regular hits going into Mr. Smash'em. He saves both of them. Okay. All right. Well, it's time for retreat. I'm going to say this guy can't move more than 6 while he's retreating with this dude. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that. And we're going to shoot our 1 pathetic shot at our guy in there. Just to try to clear some heads. So 1 shot, hitting on 5s. Nope. Now, Mr. Squidface now has 2 caster tokens. 2 tokens. So he could potentially cast something else. So let's see what he's got. Okay, so let's try choking gas. So we're looking at a quality test there. Looking at a quality test that stays on the fucking map. All right, so we got ourselves a 6. So that's going to be 2 hits with Bane, which means that if he rolls any 6s, he needs to re-roll them. So it's going to be 1 save, 1 wound. All right, Mr. Smash'em is on 1 wound. Hell yeah. Hells to the yeah. Unfortunately, Mr. Smash'em gets to go now. So he's going to charge through that window and continue to beat the shit out of Mr. Badger. 6 shots or 6 beatings with rending. What do we get? Is that everything a hit? Is he quality 3 or quality 4? Quality 3. Ow. Okay. All 6 hit. Thankfully, none have the 5 AP or the 4 AP. So, Mr. Badger, you're going to have to do these in a couple of rounds, buddy. Round 1, saving on 6s. Save 1, take 2. Okay. Round 2, saving on 6s. Save none. That means Mr. Badger's taking 5 wounds, which means Mr. Badger is now unconscious. Bonk. Which definitely could have gone better. We'll say that could have gone better. Okay, well, shit. So that is the end of that round. So if we go over, we can jump our alertness up to 5. Now, at the end of the next round, and the end of round 6, we will be spawning more mobs. um, yeah. So this is gonna get very painful very quickly. I don't know if Mr. Chungus is gonna make it out. So, oh, this was Mr. Chungus's dice. That's right. That was Mr. Chungus because he has wounds too. I forget about that. All right. Well, Mr. Badger is incapacitated. I don't remember what you can do when you're incapacitated besides lay there. Um, let's see. Unconscious. If a hero would be killed, it is unconscious instead. Must remain idle until revived and is ignored by AI. Heroes within 3 inches may use a skill action and spend 2 power to revive the hero. Well, unfortunately, Mr. Squidface doesn't have 2 power, and if he stops to try to rest to save Mr. Badger, it's a question. Do we try to have him run away? Do we try to have Mr. Squidface run away? So if we do, he's not going to be able to outrun the Chargy Brute of Doom. So it's better to have Mr. Squidface stand and fight. And we're going to hope that we can get something in to kill the Smashy Brute. Let's see. He has no spells he can cast that are useful here. Right? Hold on. Pick one enemy within 18 inches, takes 1 hit with Smash. Okay, and it would get blast. Alright, so we might as well do that. So, yeah, we might as well try to do that. So we're going to try to cast our spell. Alright, we need a 5+ here. Oh, fuck, really? Wow, alright. So that spell's definitely not happening because I do not have enough power to make that happen. So then we'll shoot our pistol. Do we have any like fucking hero skills that are useful in this situation? We have bark skin. All right, we'll try to use that after we shoot. All right, so let's shoot. Let's shoot. So 1 shot going in. Oh, we hit. Nice. Wasn't expecting that. So AP1 on this guy. He rolls a 3. He has a defense of 4, so AP1 means that he needed a 5. So that means Mr. Squidface kills the Smash guy. That was unexpected. That was extremely unexpected. Okay. Wow, that was a kind of Hail Mary pass there. Not expecting that one. Huh. Okay. Well, on that note, we're going to spawn some more guys, because this is going to be the end of the round. So, yeah, so that's going to be the end of the round, so that means we're going to move up to alert level. We'd actually jump up to alert level 7. So, you can see it stops me at 6 here. So let's see what it does. All right, it wants to spawn a unit of minions. Okay, we can do that. And that's where that would put us. Okay, so let's pick a corner to spawn our minions on. Let's see, do they spawn on one of the 2 corners, or do they spawn One. Yeah, so we got this corner here, and then we got that corner over there, and then we got middle. So where do they spawn? They spawn on that other corner. Okay. It's just a unit of dudes. Just the mans over here. And you know what? Just for fun, we're going to spawn another smashy guy. Because I enjoyed that. So, another smashy guy coming in. Let's see where he's going. In the opposite corner. Alright. Now, do we want Mr. Concrete or Mr. Stab'em Tail? I think I'm feeling Mr. Stab'em Tail. So that's who will spawn. He's going to spawn over there and be a big old pain in the ass soon, I'm sure. Okay. So, Mr. Squidman, he doesn't have the power to pick up Badger Guy. So what he needs to do is he needs to rest to reset his power. So I want to point out Mr. Squid Guy, if he had moved 6 inches, shot, actually killed that guy, and then moved again, he would actually be off the board right now, and we would have won. But being sentimental has probably murdered him. So he's going to rest for this turn and regain his power so he can try to pick up Badger Guy. So, Squidface, very noble of you, but you are probably dead. All right. So, we've got our group right here. And they're not going to actually be able to, like, actually, no, they can. They can move up and actually shoot. Okay, so they're going to do that. I like this guy a lot. He's built with one of the scavenger bodies. I like him a lot. He's really cool. Come on, focus, please. Why you no focus? There we go. All right. So he's going to move up. They're all going to move up. They're all going to shoot. So, all right, we're looking at 2 regular rifle shots, and then one of those guys, the guy in the coat, kind of specifically there, has a drum rifle. So we're gonna look at two regular shots, hitting on 5s. Let's see how those go, and then the special dice here, they're gonna be the drum rifle. Okay, so 2 hits. Drum rifle is going to have 4 rending on its hit. The other one only has nothing. Okay. Actually, you know what? They would actually be shooting at the Chungus guy because he's the closest. So into the Chungus guy. Save on 5s. Saves 1. All right. Saves 1, loses 1. He is down to 1 wound. So they're not doing a great job getting this guy extracted. Yeah, not the best there. Not the best there. All right. Down in this corner down there is where our other new smashy guy is. So he's just going to move 12 because that's all he can do. He can't really get up to anything else. So he's just going to move 12 and put himself like right there. That's about where he's going to be. He is walking down the middle of town to go cause a whole lot of ouch. And yeah, that's going to be the end of that turn. Now I'm already on 2 alertness here. So we're going to look at maybe getting another round of this if they don't get wiped out. So it's something to consider as well. We might be looking at another round of hostiles here. All right, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick up Mr. Badger. And he's going to be on 3 toughness left. So, boop, Mr. Badger is picked back up. That's cool. And then, you know what? We're going to try that stinger shot thing again. And we're going to try it against the smashy guy. So we're going to shoot through that wall and try the stinger shot again. So we're looking for 5s. All right, we got a 6. And that is, what the hell was that? It was a spell. Takes 1 hit with smash. Okay. So 1 hit. Does he save it? What is this dice? It's a 6. Yeah, he saves it. Okay. Well, on that note, we might as well, I guess, take our shot into him as well. So 1 shot on 5s. And we miss. Cool. Cool. Actually, we should have moved. And then shot is what we should have done. So yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna move and then shoot. I already did it though. Yeah, we have to play it as is. Unfortunate. Okay. Well, Mr. Badger's up. Mr. Badger needs to get between the Chungus and the other guys, because otherwise those guys in the back are going to just shoot him apart. So Mr. Badger is going to move over here. So they're like back to back around this guy, trying to defend him against these evil robots. And Mr. Badger's going to take his 3 shots. Hitting on 3, hitting on 4s. 1, 2 hits. Did the guy save on 5s? Nope, that's 2 dead. Blah, blah. Mr. Badger will use his pet as well, so I'm going to try to do that on a 5. All right, we get it. And from the top rope, the little blue otter shows up and does 2 hits to that guy. Neither of which the guy saves. Okay, so we wiped that group out. So I want to point out that on difficulty 1, with the heroes I have, right, and they kind of suck, right? Like they're not Space Marines or anything fancy, right? What it tries to spawn is just that, right? It tries to spawn just one group of guys. Because the idea is that your guys wouldn't get beat to all living hell on difficulty 1, and they would be able to do like essentially multiple little missions back to back, right? But since this is a standalone, I'm like, fuck it, let's go, let's get our guys beat to shit. So, all right, we've got Mr. Smash'em. He's like, you killed my brother, prepare to die. 6 attacks with rending. We are looking at 4 hits, AP 1. As I throw dice all over the room. None of those save. Okay. Okay. Well, that's 4 wounds into Mr. Squidface. Okay, and then he's going to get pushed back an inch. Move his friend over, and he's going to get pushed back. All right, and then we up the alertness again. We are halfway to another round, or halfway to another wave of bad guys. But we move over into our next turn, so we get to keep going. So, Squidface. Oh, your ass, man. You need to get off the fucking board. How far can you go? Let's see. All right, just to kind of the other side of that rocks there. There we go. You're gonna bring the Chungus with you, like that, and you're gonna take a shot. KO 5s. No, okay, worth a try. All right, Mr. Badger is gonna do the same thing. Well, first off, he's going to use his hero skill to try attacking this guy with his blue otter pet. We'll see how that goes. All right. I rolled a 5 for it. So 2 hits into that guy. Does he save him? Saves 1, takes 1. All right. Okay, doing some damage. And now we're going to back up again as well. We got our backwards advancing here. 3 shots from that shotgun into the smash 'em guy. We're looking at 2 hits. How many saves? Wow. Okay, double 6 for the save. Smash 'em guy is not having any shit this time. Okay, well, that's unfortunate for a lot of reasons. I'm sorry, Mr. Badger, you might be getting incapacitated again, at which point I think you're going to get left behind, buddy. So, this guy's going to charge into Mr. Badger. Wow. We're looking at 6 hits. We're looking at everything hit. 1 with 4 rending. Cool. Okay. That's awesome. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Blue dice here is the one with the fancy rending. We save 1. Mr. Badger really is a hero. He really is. He tried. He tried really hard to be the hero there. Okay. Shit. All right. So we roll the turnaround up to 4 alertness, and we can see what Squid Face can do. You know what? He's gonna try to do choking gas. We're gonna look at that. We need a 4+ for that. Let's see. 4+ for choking gas. We get a 1. He doesn't have enough power to try anymore. Okay. We're gonna back up. We're gonna just back our ass on up. And we'll take our 1 shot at the bad guy with our heavy pistol. So for 1 shot on 5s, we get a 4. Ow. All right. Figure out the best way to see this. To see this murder that's about to happen here. There we go. We got a top-down view like we're Hotline Miami. Well, this guy, after smashing Mr. Badger, he is going to he's going to move up. And he's going to charge Mr. Squidface. Boom. And he's going to give Mr. Squidface what he gave Mr. Badger. Well, good news is that's only 5 hits with no special AP. So we're looking to save on 6s for all of these hits. We save 1, so 4 wounds going in. Okay, Mr. Squidface is on 1 wound. You know, I always forget to have these guys fight back after they get struck by the big smashy guy. I've forgotten to do that every single time. Um, when they survive. I've forgotten every single time. So, uh, Mr. Squidface will fight back. So, 2 attacks, hitting on 5s. We get 1 hit. Yeah, we get 1 hit. Does Smash 'em guy save it? Yes, he does. All right. And then we're pushed backwards. Mr. Squidface here is on 1 wound. He has he could potentially kill this thing and maybe save Mr. Badger. So we're gonna try. We're gonna see how it goes. I don't think it's gonna go well for him, but we're gonna try. So we're gonna use that Stinger Blast thing again. And we need a 4+ for that spell. We get a 3. We'll use our 1 power to make that hit. So 1 hit going into the guy who doesn't save it. Okay. Puts him on 1 wound. Shit. You know what? We'll have Squidface. We'll have Squidface focus on the mission. He's going to back up to the wall, and he's going to get Mr. Chungus out of there. So Mr. Chungus has escaped. Now he's going to take his 1 shot at the Smash 'em guy. And roll a 1. And then get charged. Boom. Six hits. There's no way he survived this, but he got the guy off at least, and he was very noble. Very noble. So we're looking at 5 hits. 5 hits here. Can Mr. Squidface save every single one of these? Saved 1. Yeah. Well, the rescue team might not have done a great job rescuing. But at least they got the guy off the table, even if they didn't get themselves off the table. Oh, yeah. Pretty awesome, not gonna lie. So, new version of StarQuest. Wow, really? Did like all my cameras just both decide to crap out? Okay, fine. That's fine. We're done anyway. So, all right. So both these guys are wiped out. Unconscious, unconscious. I mean, technically we didn't fail, so we're gonna say that because we got the guy off, so we're gonna say we survived it. At the end of each, so it goes ahead and it restores it, right? And it's gonna let us add in credits and defense, or credits and XP if we want to, right? I think we'll probably come up with a more focused team for a longer campaign instead of the 2 guys that got wiped out. But this would kind of walk us through it. Walk us through kind of finishing that. So pretty fun stuff. So yeah, as your guys level up, they also get more and more equipment and access to more and cooler stuff. So the more missions they do, the the like neater stuff they get essentially, which is pretty cool. So eventually you end up getting all these like super powerful guns, and you pick up a whole bunch of wounds, and all your rolls get easier and stuff, right? It really has a nice sense of progression to it. It's very cool. But the big change in this one, in version 1 versus version 2, is the stress versus power difference. Um, in that the stress used to be something your characters would like incur and it would debilitate them. Whereas power is something that you can kind of spend and it doesn't debilitate you for spending it. Like you aren't punished for spending it, but you do need to actively regain it. Um, which I think makes it a lot more like intended to use, right? I think that makes that feel um, more fun to use than to kind of like punish yourself and handicap yourself to do it. So I like that a lot. I think that is a good change. There are some other little changes in here, but that's kind of like the big one that I'm seeing at least. Um, so yeah. So uh, if your guys end up being dead between missions, you kind of roll to see what they would get. So let's just out of curiosity see what we get. So Squidface would have gotten a smash leg. That makes sense. Mr. Badger would have gotten a blinded eye. Also makes sense. And those wounds kind of sit with them for the next mission, then kind of go away. Um, like they kind of heal. So um, that way you don't end up accruing like a million of these like negativities where your guy's just like this broken mass of bones, right? Um, it kind of is just like one disability that you're gonna have for the next mission, which is pretty cool. But yeah, very fun, and it was very fun to play a game. I haven't played a game in 5 months. Um, so yeah, good stuff. All right. Well, we will be back next week with something else. I don't know what else we'll do. Maybe we'll do some more painting. Maybe we'll play another game. This is pretty awesome. Um, but yeah, be back next week. Check you guys next Sunday. But thank you for watching me play StarQuest. It was very fun. Good game. OnePageRules just continues to be wonderful. They are the gift that keeps on giving. Cannot sing better and better stuff about them. I cannot wait for their plastic models. I think they're supposed to deliver in May. Very exciting stuff. But gonna go ahead and call it there. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a good one and keep on keeping on.